We are happy to connect and to chime in here to assist. Thank you for inviting us to do so. First, let go. Let go of any preconceived phrases or ideas. Empty your mind, on purpose. Yes, with your permission, we will now flush your mind and awareness, with light. A huge part of what you are all going to discover now, and next, is your immense capacity to love. That will precede the full discovery of your oneness. It will be an expression of it, but it will come first. And one of the things that will help many of you to discover how incredibly loving you are, is ironically first and foremost the threats to things you love. For as you experience these threats you discover how much you care. Now we wish to be clear. The things you love are not being threatened by some non-physical force in order to stimulate this awareness, but rather by some human beings who have resisted evolution and are in profound states of disconnection and denial of who they truly are, infinite and eternal, one with all that is, love. So they're threatening things you love so that they can harvest the resources they see as adding to their already significant money or assets or power, or all of that, and in doing so, threatening what you love. Now, some non-dualistic teachers might say you are discovering how attached you are, but we're not seeing it that way. We're seeing how much you love aspects of your life experience, even if that loving was almost second nature at this point in so many ways. That deep satisfaction you had in loving your life in the past included these things that are now being threatened, even though you were not specifically articulating them. And so as the things that you love are threatened, it is awakening within you and others, your awareness of how precious this life is, in certain ways with regards to your nation or your way of life in America, for example, and the many different elements that make that so. And as this is threatened, it makes clear to you where you stand. You do not want these aspects of your experience to be destroyed. You do not want the expression of your nation to regress, or go backwards in terms of human rights and care for the American people and others in the world who American helps. And so you are awakening to the depth of your love of harmony and peace and empathy and care. And even if it's peace as in the absence of war, it still feels better to you than overt conflict and global tension, and you can feel that, and it makes clear to you what you prefer. You are clarifying what matters to you and becoming more conscious, for as you feel what is being threatened, the way of life that was becoming more inclusive and how certain members of society want to take you back into the dark ages, know this, that will not happen. We can offer that reassurance, ultimately. But you may experience a very bumpy and challenging time, collectively and individually, for a while. And there will be treasured aspects of your experience, and people harmed or lost, in this time, and there will be a need to rebuild and to re-establish even, the guardrails that protect your democracy and way of life in the future, and also to put in place more clear ways to ensure that collective communication is clear and accurate and to end, that the spellbound are cared for, and there are many of them. A huge part of what will happen next will include a big part of the American population either awakening from their numbness and feeling incredible shame and pain and disillusionment and anger and outrage as they do, or them deciding they are not willing to unravel the identity they formed during this experience of indoctrination and illusion and glamours, and therefore, they will choose to leave the planet, or isolate themselves in hatred and fear of being found out. Some of them will attempt to hide. Hiding will not work, for the energy is pushing everything to the surface that needs to be seen and reckoned with in order to feel and know the truth of being, the unity and interconnectedness of all life. And so one can choose to go there freely, or to be gradually pried by the energies themselves into letting go of the separation previously embraced, or to make a leap and pretend to be aligned with it and then gradually open within, in private, and meanwhile feel incredible pressure and instability, insecurity, while one does this. And more, there are many different ways people will and are choosing to live now. But we do know that oneness is shining through. It is teasing apart the illusions, the glamours, the misunderstandings that one holds that gives them the sense of complete separateness, and that challenge to the ego may also drive those present in this way, to try even harder to gain control, and we know this is already occurring. There is no getting around this. The pain body, the entity structure of separation, lack, and limitation, the part of the human psyche that believes it isn't powerful, isn't connected, or believes it can chose only for itself that it is separate, all of these misunderstandings will be illuminated and will be unraveled. These ideas are illusions, and for those even, who are very aligned with love, one can still sometimes see a misunderstanding present in the teachings that a human being can manifest for themselves regardless of others. That is a misunderstanding. Everything is a co-creation. Everything. And all of that will come to light. There is no way to feel stable and secure while denying the infinite oneness that is all. There just isn't. Seeing life in separation, believing one can be a lone ranger? That is not sustainable. Anyone choosing to put a stake in the ground with that will experience the tension of trying to hold that structure in place. As one persists in trying to operate in separation, they will feel battered energetically and will feel an inner and outer sense of instability, because nothing in the world that is real, infinite and eternal, aka truth, is supporting this. Oneness is the true ultimate reality. Interconnectedness is the true reality. Inclusion and love is the way forward. Aligned authentic expression and flow, is the way to be. And the way to play. So yes, this year and next year and even the year after this are going to be quite rough for many. Rough for those like you whose hearts are breaking as your country, which feels like your world, moves strongly and quickly in this seeming backslide direction, and rough too for those denying that they too are part of a collective wholeness. We say seeming backslide direction because again what is out of sync with interconnectedness must be brought into the light of awareness and seen for the misunderstanding that it is.